welcome to another exciting episode of the $1 Million Peddlers. I'm Papergoy.
I'm Mr. Magazine.
We've done videos in the past, Mr. Magazine, the recent past as a matter of fact, about having multiple streams of income and how important that is and multiple sources of income.
Seems like yesterday we just spoke about this.
It does seem recently. That being said, there are a lot of different venues that you can sell on. And I wanted to get a little bit deeper into the various venues and how do you learn? That might be the best way, because I was going to ask you, how do you know what to sell where, but you do because of experience. How do you learn what sells on what venue? When you see something, how do you say, oh, this is going on to blank as opposed to a different blank?
I would just go on to all the sites at some point and do some researching and say, hey, I have comics, I have magazines, sports cards, toys, whatever, and search on those items or similar, or even exact items. Hey, I have this. Let me put it on all 5 platforms, see where it's going to get the most bids, what's going to sell for the most, how much competition, which venue has more or less, and just do a little research that way, kind of like check them all out, but to what you have to sell, though, because that's what you're going on there for.
Yes and no. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you. The only thing I want to add to that would be if you are looking into a collection of something or other that you don't usually deal in, do that little bit of legwork before you buy it would definitely help you as well. And that's something or other where actually, and this wasn't where I was going to go, but that's somewhere or other where you can get a major competitive advantage. Because what site do 90% of the people, 95% of the people that come in and sell things to you comp off of?
Oh, eBay.
If you can find a niche site, whether it's Del Camp for postcards, whether it's Hip Comics, whether it's Etsy, whether it's whatever one it is, Discogs, doesn't matter which one it is at all, if you can get a higher price on that site, and you're established on that site, obviously you're not going to dissuade your customers from using eBay as the comp, because if they're saying, well, look, these are $10, and you're looking at it going, yeah, but where I sell them at, they're $15. Exactly. Well, the offer you're making them is still based off of 10, because that's what 99% of people will sell on, is that little thing. You just happen to find a little honey hole where you can sell the stuff at as well. So that'll definitely give you an advantage as well. And it's funny because as you were saying, doing the research, I'm like, I kind of don't do the research, but then I started thinking about it, and I guess that I do. I don't go deep into the research. I kind of, a lot of the times, I do the old spaghetti method. You throw it all against the wall and see what sticks. And I definitely do that on Etsy. I definitely do try different things out. But one of my thoughts on Etsy is it's always been thought of as a crafters type site. I listed, just for the heck of it, and I haven't sold any yet, but it's going to be interesting to see if I do. I listed a few car magazines on there.
Okay.
Because I said, all it takes is one person to be looking on there, one person that shops on there regularly, and, oh, my husband loves cars, and he's got a Mustang, and there's a car magazine out with a Mustang on the front cover. Now, I'm not going super deep into the weeds on what I'm listing as far as car magazines go. I'm listing ones that have, a Corvette on the cover or a Mustang on the cover. Just figuring it's worth the try. I know they'll sell eventually on eBay.
Right.
Why not try it over on Etsy? Because it doesn't seem to be a ton of people over there trying it. And again, all it takes is one person to come through and want to buy it. Same thing with comics over there and whatever. So when you look at the things, you just kind of know which venue you want to put them on, or...
Well, like when eBay got rid of the adult site a few years ago, I'm like, well, what am I going to do with this stuff? I knew I had the website started, but still, like, I had so much inventory, I could put them on multiple streams, and we tried, I think, Mercari, we tried Etsy, because people said, and I did some searches on, like, I asked, like, Google, like, hey, can you list Playboys on Mercari? I said, and people were saying yes, people were answering back, and, we listed a bunch of stuff on there, and within days we got booted off, so...
So sometimes the research may not even be correct.
Right, yeah, unless they fly under the radar, and maybe because I listed 50 or 100 in a day, there was a red flag where these guys are putting a couple on here and there. I don't know, but and I'm like, well, I don't need that headache, so we just moved on.
Well, that's actually a really good point, because I'm sure I know a while ago, certainly Little Black Samba was being cracked down on eBay, but last time I looked, there were copies of it up. Can you sell it on there? No, you're not supposed to.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that, all of a sudden you pick one up and you're not knowledgeable. You have no idea of the backstory of that they're not supposed to be sold on there.
Right.
You're not overly knowledgeable about books. You just pick up a pile of 10 kids' books. You probably would just list without even looking, but somebody goes, oh, you got to be careful where you sell that at. Oh,
Right.
let me check. Oh, there's 22 copies on eBay of Little Black Sambo. I should be able to sell it without thinking twice about it.
Right.
Because you're not a book person to know that, there might have been 100 different versions of Little Black Sambo, and so only 22 of them available total is a very low number. You may not know that. You may think it's like any other book, and you're like, oh, there's not very many of them.
Or they're smart and they kind of alter the title so it doesn't come up in the algorithms. And maybe they'll just say Sambo, or they'll put Slambo or something else, but
Right.
not put Little Black or something, or Little Sambo, So they might toy with that too and get away with it.
Right, yep. And the bots may not have caught it yet. Somebody may not have reported it yet. Anything like that. So even on that research, you got to really look deep. And of course, you've been selling, adult magazines, adult material for quite a while now, and eBay has changed their parameters any number of times. And you being one of the world's foremost experts on secondhand adult magazines and the like, do you have any idea what you can and can't list on eBay? You have an idea what you can't list, but do you really know what you can?
I hear what everyone's selling on there, or what they think they can sell. And we call eBay, they gave us some examples of what we can sell until they say it's up to their discretion. And that's why I don't put anything on there. I could probably make an extra few $1,000s a month by putting stuff on there that should be able to sell on there, but I don't want to take a chance of saying, hey, we don't like this cover, we don't like this title, because we're one of the larger dealers, and it's always us that seems to be getting caught, and these other little guys fly under the radar. So I'm like, you know what, we'll put it all on the website, we'll get higher prices, we won't have to pay the high fees, and it is what it is.
Yeah, it's not worth risking the entire business or the entire business on eBay just for a couple of $1,000 extra dollars a month. $25,000 extra in a year.
Yeah, right.
Big deal. And even if eBay did say yes you can, yes you can, yes you can, all of a sudden all it takes is one time for them to say, oh no you can't,
Exactly,
and you should have known.
Right.
And that's the real problem with that as well.
Sure.
Yeah, so I guess the bottom line is there are a lot of different sites out there. A lot of people will end up using things like the cross-listing and all that. We do not do that. Neither of us does cross-listing. Just haven't found anything. Haven't really looked in there either too much. I know that one of the problems is, and I know it's a problem that you had back when you were using Sellbrite, I believe it was, with the compatibility of listing between eBay over to Amazon and the like, because there are different conditions, there are different requirements on each site. And then the other problem with that, especially if you do it in any kind of bulk, how many items do you have listed up on Amazon?
330,000.
If you could magically push a button and have all 330,000 items listed over on eBay, you'd be suspended on eBay.
Absolutely. I was just going to say that. I hope he doesn't say it's going to be a good thing, because it's not going to be a good thing.
And if you could click the button and get everything from eBay over to Amazon, you'd probably be suspended on Amazon as well, because there probably are some things that, the
copyright
drop-downs,
stuff. And,
copyright stuff, and then the drop-downs don't sync properly, and so suddenly, God forbid, there's some kind of an error in the syncing, and everything got listed as new over on Amazon.
Yeah. Well, even their shipping. I could have all these large items, goes over to Amazon, they're paying me $3 instead of $33.
Yeah, so we do not do the cross listing. Certainly at your size, there are a lot of potential pitfalls. And at my size, I'm sure there are as well. That's a lot of items. I mean, if I've got 20,000 items on each venue, that's a lot of items, because ultimately I'm responsible, and you're responsible for every item that goes over.
Explain to them why it happened. They don't want to hear that.
No, you can't tell them, well, some third party did it wrong.
Exactly.
Well, guess what? Guess whose name's on that door?
Yeah.
Guess whose name's on that hoodie? Hopefully that helps you a little bit. Yeah, definitely do look into different venues, and just keep in the back of your head, different things sell on different venues, and if you can find a little venue that you can be selling regularly on for more money, let other people come in and comp everything off of eBay. You'll be comping it off the other site, and you'll be doing very, very well. Another thing that'll help us do very, very well is if you could hit that like button. And we will see you next video.
Take care. Bye bye.